having issues with that. And now my friend who just totally lost her gasket and physically assaulted somebody. Yeah. Like, do I have a poor gauge of character?
I think don't take it personally.
Guys, if you are feeling the winter blues, the January blues, don't worry, because Bravo is like, I got you. They are giving us such great new episodes of all the Real Housewives shows, their other shows, a real estate show. They got it going on. Anyways, I had fun watching the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, so we're of course going to get into it. But before that, subscribe if you haven't already. I cover all things Bravo, Housewives, and some good pop culture tea. So with that said, let's get into it. All right, guys, I have thoroughly been enjoying this season of Potomac, and the ladies have not had any altercations. I love that. It's been some fun kikiing, some, real hard conversations, some shade. I've enjoyed this season of Potomac. It's been good. Anyways, we are finishing up the Panama trip. The girls get together for breakfast. The girls are giving lots of love to Gizelle, but she is not having it. Now, it is, the 4th of July. However, instead of being with their families, they're celebrating 4th of July together, and they're away from their families. And Stacey opens up to the ladies how this time of the year is, sad for her that she's not with her family. And 17 years ago, she met her father had passed away, and her mom and her had taken a trip. And then I guess the flight back, she had met her husband, who she's divorcing from now. And about a year ago, his father had passed away. So it's a very important time in Stacey's life. She cried about it with the ladies. They shared the beautiful message her daughter sent to her. And Wendy's just like, look, we're all here for you. We're all away from our families, but we're here together. So that was lovely seeing Stacey open up. Now we move on to Mia B. Lion. What shall we say? Mia Moore, as Carlos King calls her. This is the third apology, because the first apology, when Mia apologized to Gizelle about talking about her daughters, it was off camera. Gizelle didn't like that. And then Mia apologized again on camera, because Gizelle was like, well, you apologized off camera. I need it to be on camera. And then now Mia is apologizing again, and Gizelle is like, okay, they hug it out, all good. In Gizelle's confessional, she's like, tread lightly, Mia. This group is fractured. Because Robin isn't in the mix anymore, I think Gizelle is a little bit more open to getting along with the cast, with the other girls. It's kind of like, you know what? I don't have anyone as my right-hand woman to go along with every single thing I do. I'm just going to get along with these ladies, or at the very least, try to. Now, we have a beautiful moment where, Stacey's showing love to Gizelle, Mia's showing love to Gizelle, and Gizelle is just like, get off me. I'm one of those people too. I don't really like people in my personal space or people touching me. So I totally got Gizelle in this moment. So the ladies continue to enjoy their beautiful breakfast, their last day in Panama. Actually, no, their second last day in Panama. And Wendy brings up the countersuit by Deborah Gabora, who her and her ponytail were on last season. And she had that altercation with Kierna. She was ready to fight when she attended the GNA fashion show last season. Was it even a fashion show? I can't even remember. GNA event, let's call it. And so Wendy brings up, so Deborah's going to sue you for $7 million or countersue you to Kierna. And Kierna honestly is so unbothered. She's like, okay. But Kierna does share how because of her because of this incident with Deborah and the fact that, Ashley brought this girl into the group, the fact that Kierna was hanging around with these girls in the group, and this incident happened to Kierna, and she has, a scar to show for it, and these lawsuits she's now dealing with Deborah. Greg, her partner, he's very protective and sensitive of her hanging out with the girls, and apparently Greg tells her, don't get into fights. You don't want to be going out to brunch with your girlfriends and then your partner is like worried something's going to happen to you while you are in their presence. It's not a good feeling. Now, the ladies leave breakfast, and Ashley has a little heart to heart with Gizelle. Ashley is truly questioning her what do you call it, her judgment of character. The Deborah situation, Ashley, you can tell she's feeling super guilty. And then her judgment of character in picking, someone she married, Michael Darby. And Giselle's just like telling her, like, girl, like, don't take it personally. Ashley feels guilty, like, oh my God, the Paris trip, Craig took her on. Was she supposed to get engaged? Like, because I introduced Deborah into the group, did it change the course of Kierna's engagement with Craig, the timeline of her engagement or potential engagement? Like, she's just like taking it to the heart. And I feel like sometimes with Ashley, she does a lot of like little things where she starts fires. But I think in this instance, she truly is feeling bad and calling herself out. So that's growth for her. I like that. All right, so we got the girls. They got ready for the boat ride. And honestly, it was a beautiful boat ride. Like, it looked really pretty just to be there out in the water, in the sunshine. This was a good trip. I've thoroughly enjoyed this trip so far. Anyway, so the girls, they take their pictures, they're chilling, they're talking, they're having some drinks. And now we get back into the situation with Kay and the timeline of her potential engagement with Craig. Gizelle brings it up like to the group, like, hey, I was having a chat with Ashley after breakfast and she feels, really bad about the Paris trip. Like, was this supposed to be a trip where, Kay, you got engaged, or you were going to get engaged? Craig was going to pop the question. And Kay confirms, no, like, if anything, this trip made us closer. And then she gets into some math where I'm like, this is housewives math. It's just, none of it makes any sense. Guys, February 27th is about a month, a little more than a month, about a month and a half away from the time of me doing this recap. Craig doesn't have a very long time. And last I heard, I don't think they're engaged yet. So February 27th, 2025 is officially when Kierna and Craig will be together for 3 years. And the man better propose by then. So this was the funny math that Kierna was doing. Like, okay, in my 20s, I'll give you like 5 years, but in my 30s, I'm only going to give you like 3 years. I don't know what she was going on about, but the main thing is Kierna didn't seem to come down on Ashley so hard. That was really nice. And it seems like Kierna and Ashley can have a budding friendship, or they can move forward. So that's nice to see. All right, guys, this part pains me to even talk about it, but here we are, back to the nastiness. The rumors, the nastiness, the rumors, the nastiness. If you guys heard that Meredith Marks remix on TikTok, it's so good. Whoever made it, 10 out of 10. But anyways, we get back into the nastiness. Yet again, we have to get into the antics of what Mia and Jacqueline may have had or not had. I think it was Kay that brought it up when the ladies were all just like chilling on the boat. Kay basically brought up like, oh, hey, Jacqueline was telling me how like you, Mia and Jacqueline, you guys used to, you guys are into voyeurism, you guys are like voyeurs into voyeurism, and like swapping partners and watching each other. Do we have to keep revisiting this topic and conversation between Mia and Jacqueline's friendship, or more than friendship. These two clearly met each other in a pivotal point in their life, in their teens. They've been, besties ever since. And sure, they've had some ups and downs in their friendship. We, as the audience, them being on the show, we even watch some of those ups and downs. I think after the first season, Jacqueline and Mia, they weren't good friends. Mia, for whatever reason, thought Jacqueline was like betraying her, and then they're good friends again. But now Jacqueline is not holding her own. She is very much Mia's pet, and that's very sad to see. Like, girl, you're a grown ass woman. Hold your own. Stacey's over this discussion. Gizelle's over this discussion. It just keeps coming up. I think some of the conversations with Mia keep coming up because we never get a straight answer. And so the ladies get info and then they're left with more questions and then they ask those questions. Now, what I'm noticing is from the snippets that we get, Mia and Jacqueline like to share bits and pieces of their lives individually or together with the group, like one-on-one with the girls. And then when it's brought out into the forefront in a group setting or on camera, Mia's like, don't tell the girls. Like, girl, Jacqueline, just zip it. I don't know. I'm so over this. I don't care about their nastiness. Good for you. You did whatever you did. I don't care. And I think half the cast doesn't care either. This was such a surprising antic on the Real Housewives of Potomac because Ashley and Jacqueline, they're roommates, and they have this like weird bathroom scene where, they're just getting ready, putting on their makeup, just, touching up their face. And there's a budding romance between Jacqueline and Ashley. And it was just like out of nowhere. So before I even like get into this scene, I'm like thinking, is this like for real? Like, is this like staged or is this like really happening? Now, Jacqueline and Ashley, they basically say like when they first met each other, they felt a little something something. And then I'm thinking, like, in Housewives history, have we ever had the housewives hitting on one another? Now, we had the Brandy and Caroline Manzo situation in Morocco, which unfortunately we will never, ever, ever, ever see those clips, see that entire season. Bravo's probably going to scrap that because of legal reasons, thanks to Carolyn. And then what else have we had? The Bolo season in Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Bolo episodes, the girls had turned the cameras away or put something on top of it. However, we still got audio and just like the tiniest bits of clips that the cameras could pick up. So to my recollection, you guys let me know, please comment below. Is this like the first time we're really seeing the housewives hit on one another? Was this staged? I don't know. It feels staged. It was like, it kind of felt like they were roommates and they were like, oh, let's like have a little peck and like, make like a thing out of it. I was so over it. Now, the part where I was like, okay, if you want to have a peck with Ashley, whatever, do your little peck, who cares? But the fact that Jacqueline was like, oh my God, Mia's gonna be mad at me. I was like, is Mia like, I don't get it. Is Mia like your man? Like, what's going on here? We're gonna get back into this because Ashley obviously blabs about it at dinner. All right, so the ladies got ready. They are at their final dinner for their Panama trip. They all look gorgeous. And honestly, this trip, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. They talk about some real stuff individually, their families and whatnot. And even when they get into it, it's not like so anxiety inducing. And there's, no one coming at each other across the table. So I've enjoyed that. Like I said, Ashley could not wait to blab about her little peck with Jacqueline. And the way Mia reacted, I'm not surprised Jacqueline was like, oh, don't tell Mia. But Ashley, being messy as she is, she of course shares it with the entire group. And then Mia, you could tell, like, her body language, her face, she looks pissed. And the fact that Mia calls Jacqueline a hoe, that was very telling. And I think even one of the ladies called out Mia for her like pimp like behavior, and then Karen in her confessional. Karen and Jacqueline at this point, they are kind of like getting their friendship back, or they're kind of like cordial, but at this point Karen is still like whatever about Jacqueline. And she was basically like, "Oh my god, Ashley, you need to get like all the shots. You don't know where Jacqueline's mouth has been." That was a little mean in Karen's confessional, but like whatever, I get it. Now, Jacqueline, this girl needs to like have some self-respect, because what the heck? Mia called her a hoe in front of the girls. And I'm thinking, like, okay, if you can say this to Jacqueline's face, then Mia, what are you saying about Jacqueline behind her back? Like, that was so mean. And then Jacqueline is just like Mia's pet time and time again. It's like, girl, have some self-respect. To me, this isn't really a friendship. It just seems like Mia is the pretty girl who needs to have friends around her, just like lifting her up. But when her friend wants to do something, and if she's not into it, she's just gonna be like mean and nasty about it. And I don't think Mia's a very good friend to Jacqueline from what we're seeing on the show. If you guys think the same, you agree with me, you disagree with me, y'all let me know in the comments below. All right, so the ladies have their final breakfast in Panama before they get all their stuff ready and head to the airport. This is their final breakfast. They're sitting down together, with the exception of Karen. Karen is late to breakfast. She slept in. I think the timestamp was like, I don't know, a good 30 minutes or so earlier is when these girls started to chit chat, and they were all at the table. Wendy is just like filling in Karen, like, girl, you missed so much. Karen and her 6113 hair definitely missed quite a bit. This seems to be Karen's favorite wig. And yeah, we see her wear it all the time. But anyways, they talk about Jamal's new wife, guys. Jamal's new wife. I love how Gizelle was like, she's not in my league. Gizelle met her, I think, like twice. And according to Gizelle, Jamal Bryant, aka Pastor Holy Whore, who coined that name? I think it was Monique in a previous season that called Jamal Pastor Holy Whore. But when you are mating with the entire congregation, what better name than to be called Pastor Holy Whore? I mean, it's so fitting, right? Anyway, so according to Gizelle, Jamal Bryant introduced Jamal's now new wife at this point. I think he was the fiance, or she was the fiance. He introduced this new lady to the girls as his friend. Like, you're literally marrying this woman. Why are you telling your daughters who are like teenagers or adults that this is your friend? Guys, let's take a look at Jamal's new wife. This is Jamal's new wife. And the ladies even asked, they even brought up how they kind of like look the same. And Gizelle's like, no, like, we don't look alike. She's not in my league. Jamal Bryant, I mean, I haven't seen his other the other woman he's been, out and about with, or he's been married to, or had kids with. This lady looks like a version of Gizelle. Now, I'm not saying they're twins, but she got the light skin, the light hair, the light eyes, the tackiness. My God, Jamal, you really have a type. Just like how Gizelle has a type, dark chocolate, Jamal also has a type, Gizelle, and tacky. Now, I do want to say Jamal's new Mrs. Bryant, she is a doctor. I'm not sure what type of doctor, but she is a smart one. But I am kind of questioning, like, how smart are you if you are getting down in the dumps with Jamal Bryant, Pastor Holy Whore? So, questionable behavior from this doctor. So they're about to finish their breakfast, get going, but right before they do so, Wendy brings up, hey, Mia, you said you're headed to Atlanta. Like, the rest of the girls are headed back home with the exception of Mia. And Mia basically tells the girls, like, look, my kids, her two youngest, the two kids that Gordon drove 4 hours south to, and they're on like this ranch now having like the best time of their lives. So according to Mia, in her confessional, her 2 kids, they want to stay at the ranch and they're enjoying their time. So what she's going to do is go to Atlanta where she has a teenage son from, I guess, like someone previous that she was with, like before Gordon. And she's going to go visit her son, go to his game. And they actually show a picture of him. So, that was sweet. I feel like she didn't do a very good job of relaying that information to the women, because I think if she said that, the women would have been like, oh, cool. Like, you're not seeing these kids that you lost temporarily because you didn't know where they were, but you will use this time while they're at the ranch to visit your oldest kid. But you know what? Ashley's like, Mia, I respect what you got to do. If this is how you want to parent, go for it. I think at this point, some of the ladies are like, look, if you like it, I love it. And we're just going to leave it at that. Now, the ladies, they end this, their last breakfast in Panama with a beautiful toast. The ladies come together. I feel like if they didn't film anymore and this was like the season finale, this would have been nice. Like, it would have been a nice season finale. But we still have, do we have episodes to go, or like one more episode to go? And what happens? We see Ray talking to Gordon for the next episode. But anyways, before we, or let's probably just stop here. Let's talk about Ashley on Watch What Happens Live. I'm glad. I can't remember. I think it was someone who, I think it was a caller that called in, or if it was Andy who brought up Karen's DUI. And Ashley was just like, when that footage aired, we wondered how on earth she decided to go to trial. Because here's the thing, guys. The way Karen had talked about it on the show and even on social media, she made it seem like, yeah, I was not sound mind. Yeah, I just like hit something, but I'm glad like no one got hurt. Okay. I mean, not that that's good, but okay. But once that footage came out, wow, that was bad. And I covered it in one of my previous videos. The word is Karen Huger did not show up to the reunion, and she went to rehab. Now, I saw somewhere it's a 1-day rehab. I don't know why you would attend a 1-day rehab. That could be wrong. Is Karen going to come back to the show? I don't know. The only person that was able to get away with doing that was Mary Cosby from Salt Lake. I'm trying to think who else did that. Oh, Lisa Vanderpump didn't show up to the reunion, and then she just left. And who was that lady? Diana, also Beverly Hills. That lady didn't care. She can spend a fortune a day and she'll still be loaded. But in Karen's case, I feel like she loves being the grande dame and being part of Housewives. So for her not to join the ladies for the reunion and just dip, it says a lot about her. Lastly, we gotta congratulate our girls in Potomac. They have received a NAACP Image Award nominee. Sorry, they didn't receive the award. They have been nominated for Outstanding Reality Program, Competition, or game show series. So congrats to the ladies of Potomac and scoring that nominee. Guys, if you want to, talk more Housewives, pop culture tea, the recaps, I'm going to keep it going. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I do read the comments. I love engaging with you guys. So definitely comment below, like, and I also have these recaps on Spotify now. So if you want to take these recaps on the go as you're, out and about doing stuff during the day, definitely do so. With that said, I will catch you all later.